In the headlines, Nigerians mark Workers' Day amid clamor for new minimum wage. Federal government says new minimum wage will take effect from May 1, 2024. Organized labor calls for immediate reversal of electricity tariff hike. On the foreign scene, China highway collapse kills 24 people, Guangdong province. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust Television. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for joining us on the news update on Trust Television. And now we'll begin with labor matters. During this year's May Day commemoration at the Eagle Square in Abuja, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress passionately appealed to the federal government to urgently review the national minimum wage to alleviate the suffering of Nigerian workers. Ajero warned that if negotiations continue to stall until the end of May, the union would no longer guarantee industrial harmony in Nigeria. Sagir Ibrahim has more.
The NLC president, who was speaking during this year's May Day commemoration at the Eagle Square in Abuja, warned that should negotiations continue to stall till the end of the month of May, the union will no longer guarantee industrial harmony in Nigeria.
Nigeria looks up to us and we must not fail. Consequently, the Nigerian Labour Congress and TUC have made it clearly and emphatically that should the minimum wage negotiation continue and linger till the end of May, we can no longer guarantee industrial harmony in this country. Our nation is facing challenges with centrifugal forces tightening their grip and citizens increasingly disillusioned with leadership. This disconnect has eroded civic ownership of governance, fueling calls for more efficient and responsive systems.
Other members of the organized labor spoke on the need for improvement in other areas affecting the welfare of Nigerians.
A nation unable to secure itself isn't ready for development. Economic growth hinges on insecurity. We can't ignore these existential issues. Investing in people secure the nation. It's time to prioritize the people for a secure and prosperous nation.
Workers should continue to struggle because all along there is nothing that a worker have gotten in the world that is given to him on the platter of gold. It has always been through collective struggle, and therefore this day reminds us of that struggle, that we must continue to struggle to get what is desirable because we create the wealth. And if we create the wealth, we must demand for social justice. And the foundation of peace anywhere around the world is social justice.
On the government side, President of Nigeria, represented by the Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, revealed that the days of worry for Nigerian workers are over and the federal government remains open to suggestions to ensure a living wage for Nigerian workers.
I assure you that your days of worrying are over. Indeed, this government is open to the committee's suggestion of not just a minimum wage, but a living wage. I urge you and all our fellow citizens to place your trust in this administration. The seeds of greatness planted in our nation are beginning to bear fruits, and they promise a future filled with hope and bound by prosperity. Once again, let me assure you, with the utmost sincerity, that every initiative undertaken by this administration is geared towards transforming Nigeria into a nation that can truly provide for its people.
As we gather here under the theme, People First, we are reminded of the fundamental principle that must guide our actions and policies, which is the prioritization of the welfare and well-being of our people. Our gathering today, therefore, is a testament of our firm commitment to placing the needs and aspirations of our workers at the forefront of our national agenda.
Away from the business of championing the cause for a better welfare for Nigerian workers, the unionists had time for a little fanfare As is customary for every May Day celebration, the Vice President was present to take the salute from the Solidarity March past from the different workers' union present. In spite of the challenging economic climate which has impacted their purchasing power, these workers remain resilient and eager to contribute to the nation's prosperity. For now, they hold on to hope that their efforts will soon yield a better life for themselves and their families. From the Eagle Square in Abuja, Sagir Ibrahim, reporting for Trust TV.
Also, the organized labor in Adamawa State has called on the government to implement policies that will improve the welfare of Nigerian workers. This was a central message marking this year's commemoration of Workers' Day. The report.
Comrade Emmanuel Fashe highlighted the significance of the annual celebration of Labor Day, noting that it serves as a reminder of the struggles and achievements of workers and the labor movement worldwide. He emphasized that this year's theme, People First, reflects the current challenges faced by Nigerians, particularly regarding their standard of living, amidst policies introduced by the administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Fashe commended the Fintiri-led administration in Adamawa State for its palliative intervention aimed at assisting workers and the general populace.
We wish to thank you immensely for the release of 3 billion naira recently for the offset of gratuities of our retirees for 2013, 2014, 2015, although January and February. This has tremendously affected on their lives and their families. Your Excellency, we are not being oligarchies. Local government pensioners are also your citizens. These gestures should also touch them because they are also part of the pensioners' family. Your Excellency, we want to appreciate your kind gesture of implementing the 30,000 minimum naira fully at the local government. The primary teachers, the primary healthcare workers, the local government workers are now at par with their counterparts in any state of the Federation in terms of remuneration.
The chairman, Trade Union Congress, Comrade Dauda Adamu Ali, appealed to Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri to consider the daily rated staff for permanent appointment to the civil service.
To celebrate the May Day with us, I think it's a real privilege because of the hardship.
Governor Amadou Umaru Fintiri, represented by his deputy professor, Kaletapwa George Farawata, intimated workers on the plans of the administration towards improving the well-being of workers in the state.
I am delighted that the NLC chairman has noted these gestures. I have also taken note of the request made by him and assure you that the issues will be addressed within the context of prevailing socio-economic realities. Your trust and confidence in us will not be betrayed. Let me also seize this opportunity to inform you that we are keenly following developments on the new national minimum wage, and to say that as a government we are fully committed to implementing whatever figure that is eventually agreed upon.
The ceremonial march past saw the participation of athlete groups under the umbrella of the organized labor in the state.
More on the May Day celebration. The 2024 Workers' Day was celebrated in Katsina amidst lamentations over poor working conditions, fuel scarcity, and high cost of living. The workers, who said they are overburdened by debts, also lamented the escalating inflation and insecurity, saying there is little or nothing to cheer about. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
Tricycler Association of Nigeria. So, Association of Senior Civil Servants of Nigeria, Servants of Nigeria, Federal Revenue.
Living costs, wage grants, and minimum wage increase dominate discourse among workers and non-workers in Katsina State, with many arguing that the partial implementation of wage grants among retirees and civil servants is a deliberate attempt to put down workers and scuttle the economy of the state. Many civil servants in the state are of the view that though their monthly salaries have been consistent, there is, however, an urgent need to implement a living wage that will salvage them from the prevailing economic downturn. Speaking on the sidelines of the Workers' Day celebration, Katsina residents encouraged labor leaders to remain steadfast and not to agree to anything short of a living wage, considering the harsh economic realities occasioned by fuel subsidy removal, uncontrolled inflation, and continuous devaluation of the naira.
This country is a very big country that has all the resources we need to take care of the workers. Unfortunately, we are less paid, and you know the economic challenges and the hardship we are facing.
We are facing definitely terrible economic situation, but we are hoping, we are confident that the government is doing something to ensure that new minimum wage come into limelight.
Labor leaders also made some of their demands clear to the government, with hope that Governor Dikko Rada will meet them.
And I also want to sincerely appreciate the Katsina State workers, both the state and local government, for their continued support of this administration. I hereby assure you of the government's support and consideration for working closely with you to address some of the outstanding issues toward improved welfare to workers in the state.
Critical stakeholders are asking for a clear-cut path towards ameliorating the current economic hardship being experienced by Nigerians, noting that it is the only option to guaranteeing the security of lives and property. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Katsina.
Meanwhile, the federal government says although the tripartite committee on national minimum wage is yet to conclude its negotiations, workers will not lose anything as the new minimum wage will take effect from May 1, 2024. The Minister of State Labor, Nkirika Onyejocha, stated this on Wednesday while addressing Nigerian workers at the May Day celebration in Abuja. She said, "It is regrettable that the new national minimum wage is not ready before today, but that a wide consultation is ongoing to ensure that the document is out together as soon as possible." Meanwhile, President Bola Tinubu has lauded the contributions of workers in Nigeria to the growth of the country. He gave the commendation in his address to the workers presented by Vice President Kashim Shettima at an event to mark the 2024 Workers' Day in Abuja. He said the federal government is open to receive the recommendations of the committee on the new national minimum wage. Also, the Senate President Godswill Akpabio has assured Nigerian workers that the National Assembly and the executive arm of government would collaborate to give them a living wage and better working conditions. The Senate President gave the assurance in a statement by his Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Eseme Eyibo, on the occasion of the 2024 May Day celebration. Akpabio, in the message, extolled the sterling qualities such as patriotism, hard work, resilience, and dedication to duty that stand the Nigerian worker out. Speaking on this year's theme for Workers' Day, ensuring safety and health at work in a changing climate, Akpabio promised that the National Assembly, under his leadership, was more than committed to ensuring the best working conditions for the Nigerian workers, adding that no Nigerian worker will again be allowed to work under inhumane conditions. According to him, the 10th National Assembly was fully committed to providing the required legislative enablement aimed at protecting the interests of the Nigerian worker, creating a befitting workplace environment and the pay that takes them home. The Nigerian Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress have appealed to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and power sector operators to reverse the increase in electricity tariff within 1 week. President of the unions, Joe Ajero and Festus Osifo, made the call on Wednesday in a joint speech to mark the 2024 Workers' Day in Abuja. The duo expressed dissatisfaction over the epileptic power situation, which is affecting the economic growth of the country. According to them, any nation incapable of effectively and efficiently managing its energy resources must face certain ruin. They said it was absolutely critical for the government to collaborate with the people to establish frameworks that ensure energy works for all Nigerians. According to the duo, the plight of the power sector remains unchanged over a decade after the privatization of the sector. The Kwara State Police Command on Wednesday confirmed the arrest of 3 suspected cultists allegedly connected with a deadly clash between 2 rival cult groups at Budoke in a Yenkorin area of the state. 1 person was killed, while 2 buildings were burnt down as the hoodlums prevented residents from salvaging the property after setting it ablaze. The suspects, according to the spokeswoman of the command, Toun Ejire Adeyemi DSP, are Suleiman Ismail, Mahmoud Ibrahim, and Mudashir Saeed. They were allegedly in possession of a Dane gun at the time of their arrest. She said operatives had to intensify efforts to apprehend other suspects. She added that the suspects had been transferred to the State Criminal Investigation Department, Ilorin, for further investigation, while a manhunt had been launched to track down Olorunwa and other culprits involved in the crime. This is a news update on Trust Television coming up shortly. Nigerians groan as queues persist in Lagos over fuel shortages. More news will return. Do stay with us. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Let's take a look at our top stories again. Nigerians mark Workers' Day amid clamor for new minimum wage. Federal government says new minimum wage will take effect from May 1, 2024. And to more stories, queues at fueling stations in Lagos are lingering as the latest fuel scarcity continues to bite hard across the country. Checks across the city, especially in Ikeja, the state capital, revealed that some stations selling have seen queues surge while others have jacked up their prices as demand increases. The report.
Across Lagos, the fuel scarcity had led to an increase in transport fares as many commercial drivers are struggling to fuel their vehicles for business operations. In Ikeja, the Lagos state capital, many private filling stations have closed down and are refusing to sell fuel to residents. Those who are selling have increased prices to as much as 750 naira per litre. Some commuters aired their views on the price hike and its impact on business operations.
Some people are selling normal price, and some people are not selling normal price. Like yesterday, now the one that I bought is 610 for 100. So other businesses are selling 700.
Recently, what we are going through is not easy at all. Not easy at all, because for us to get fuel now, is a war. You queue from 4 a.m. before you get fuel. Sometimes it's 11, 12. So after 11, 12, what work are you going to do that day? It's a wasteful day already.
All the filling station has been closed. I don't know what is happening, whether they want a increase or they want low the price. I don't know. So the place we are bought now for this Agbado area, we bought the fuel per liter with 690, 750. But for this Lagos, the one that I bought this morning now, I bought it 610.
While the surge in the price of fuel in Lagos State is significantly impacting business operations, it has however emboldened black marketers to increase their rates, with 1 litre of fuel now selling at 1,400 naira per litre, causing long queues at stations selling at normal prices, as consumers seek to avoid the exorbitant rates of the black market.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives Committees on Petroleum Resources, Downstream and Midstream have assured Nigerians of the availability of PMS in the country. While briefing the House of Representatives press corps, the committees assured that from findings 1.5 billion litres that will last for 30 days is available for supply and distribution to marketers. The chairman of the Midstream and the Downstream, Ikenga Imo Ugochinyere and Henry Okoje, also explained that fuel supply was disrupted by logistics challenges faced by transport vessels conveying products from offshore to onshore, assuring that the challenges have been addressed. The chairman, Downstream, Ugo Chinyere, said the committee reached out to stakeholders in the distribution value chain, the NNPCL, the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, to ascertain the cause of the resurgence of the fuel queues across the country. The chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Petroleum Midstream, Henry Okoje, also threw more light on the temporary presence of fuel queues in petrol stations across the country, which he says calls for concern.
We strongly frown at the activities of middlemen who have taken advantage of the short disruption of supply to maximize profits and generate inordinate gain for themselves at the detriment of our people. We call on security agencies to support the NNPCL, NNDPRA, Petron, NATO, and other key stakeholders in the distribution value chain so as to ensure that such act of economic sabotage that has to do with hoarding, arbitrary increment in price, product diversion, and smuggling are detected and dealt with.
Today, the report we are getting suggests that the fuel queues have started reducing and products have started arriving at the petrol stations. We urge Nigerians not to engage in panic buying, not to be immersed in an unnecessary rush to buy products. As a country, we have a storage of over 1.5 billion liters, which can be last for at least over 30 days.
Away from Nigeria and to side development, 24 people have died after a section of the mountainside highway collapsed in China's Guangdong province following days of heavy rain. 30 others were taken to hospital after a 17.9-meter stretch of the Milong Expressway crumbled on Wednesday. Authorities have yet to state the cause of the incident. Images on state media showed a massive gash in the forested mountainside below the highway. State media initially reported that 19 people had died, but local authorities later said 24 people had been killed, with the number of injured persons still at 30. Footage that appeared to have been taken shortly after the collapse showed flames and black smoke billowing from below the highway. Authorities said a total of 20 vehicles fell into the collapsed portion of the road. Guangdong, China's most populous province, was hit with flash floods last week that killed 4 people and displaced 110,000 others. Lastly, in sports news, Nigerian Under-20 center back Benjamin Frederick has secured a move to the English Premier League outfit Brentford. At just 18 years old, Frederick has emerged as the latest permanent addition to the Bees roster. Frederick is a product of Moses Simon's Academy, Simobian Football Club in Kaduna State. Frederick garnered attention from European clubs such as Bayern Munich, Real Madrid and FC Porto. He initially joined the club on loan last summer with an option to buy included. According to renowned transfer journalist Fabrizio Romano, the option to buy clause has been activated, leading to Frederick's signing of a 4-year deal with Brentford. He joins fellow Nigerian Frank Onyeka at the club, further enhancing the Nigerian presence within the team. On that note, we've come to the end of the news update at this hour on Trust Television. Remember, you can always follow us across all of our social media platforms and also join our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentaries. I am Aisha Salihu. Thank you so much for watching.